Okay, so you're multi-talented, you're multi-passionate, and you're probably doing all the things to grow your business. But if your audience is confused, you're losing them. Today on the Manifesting Millions podcast, I am joined by my new bestie, the expert authority coach, Christine Blosdale. We're going to be pulling back the curtain on how to stop the marketing guesswork and finally get seen, trusted, and paid for the work you're already doing. We're covering everything from ask engine optimization and what the heck that is to the secret media kit strategy that can get you booked on 40 podcasts in 30 days. And we're talking about one simple mantra that will instantly clarify your brand and help you pivot into your next level of wealth. Whether you are just starting out or ready to rebrand your way to six figures, this conversation is the shift you've been waiting for, and holy moly, I am excited to share it with you. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast, where we talk about manifestation, money, and practical guidance to creating your dream reality. My name is Amy Van Meel, and I am an experienced coach and transformation guide, obsessed with helping you get out of your own way and create a life that blows your mind each day you wake up. My goal in this podcast is to share practical manifestation, self-awareness, and growth techniques in real talk conversations. So if you're ready to massively transform your reality, your finances, your relationships, and your overall enjoyment of life, you are in the right place. I am absolutely delighted that you're here with me today, babe. Let's get into it. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I am so freaking excited to be here with you today. What you can't see, but I can, is that I have a very special guest with me here today. Christine Blosdale, the expert authority coach, is on the Manifesting Millions podcast.
Where's the applause?
Woo! Yeah, everybody's going crazy. Yeah! I love it. I'm going to give you Christine's proper introduction so you know what she is. All I got to tell you is that she's cool as fuck. We've already connected. We're basically besties. And we have a really juicy conversation for you today. So let me just give Christine a quick, proper introduction. Christine Blosdale, also known as the expert authority coach, is a 5-time #1 best-selling author, award-winning media personality, and the host of the Expert Authority Coach podcast. With over 25 years of experience, she doesn't look a day over 40. I'm just going to tell you that right now. With over 25 years of experience in personal branding and magnetic marketing, Christine has helped countless entrepreneurs, coaches, authors, and thought leaders get seen, trusted, and paid for what they already know. A former content creator for powerhouses like America Online and Microsoft, a few words that we may know, Christine brings her signature blend of media savvy and marketing magic to everything she does. Her coaching style is simple, easy, fun, and most importantly, effective. Her mission is simple: to help you get seen, trusted, and paid as the go-to expert in your space.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps, Christine. Welcome.
My favorite thing in the world to do. I'm listening to you going, yeah, that sounds like a cool, oh, that's me. Yes, yeah. That's me. Yeah.
I have these moments sometimes when someone else introduces me that I'm like, wait, am I that cool? I sound really awesome.
Yes.
I love it. So, Christine, I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to use me as a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? A science rat? Thank you. Thank you. A guinea pig. I'm like, there's a word here. I'm super enjoying my 40s. Let me just tell you, this like words disappearing out of my brain is
Oh, wait till you get to your 60s. It's
fucking
so,
weird,
so
man.
fun. Yeah, so fun.
Oh, that's not what today's podcast is about. So I'm gonna be the guinea pig a little bit today.
Yeah.
I always say we, it's me, myself, and I here. We got together and sat down and did your quiz, the expert authority quiz.
Yeah.
And I was very intrigued to do it. Now, you have my results, I think,
Yes.
right?
I've
And
got them
I
right
have my
here.
results. How do we want to lean into this? And or before we lean into this, is there anything that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, I'm very excited because this is great because not only, I could talk about things all the time. I could talk about my programs and this, that, and the other. But when you actually get to experience something that I've put together that is super easy to do, it's like 10 questions. And these are questions that you should be asking yourself anyway. And it doesn't matter as long, I mean, if you're a coach or if you're a consultant or a speaker, if you're a service provider of any sort, these are all questions that you should be asking yourself. But as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we forget. We're so involved in growing our business. We're so involved in, oh, what kind of marketing thing should I do? I got to be doing social media. I need to do. So this whittles it down to really important questions that you need to be asking so that you can see where your expert authority is and find those places maybe that could use improvement or that you could focus your attention on. And so I with every client that I work with, one of the very first things that we do is I have them take this quiz, right? It's
Yeah.
not a test. You're not, you're not going to pass or fail. It's just a way for me to see your strengths and to see maybe areas that we can improve together,
Yeah.
right?
Love it.
So that's the setup of that. And for those of your audience who want to also participate and do the quiz as well, they can just go to expertauthorityquiz.com. But I think you'll put a link in the show notes so
Yep.
that they can also take the quiz as well.
Yes. Yeah. Because I'm constantly listening to podcasts while I'm driving, and I should not be clicking on links or trying to type
No.
them in while I'm driving. So those will be absolutely in the show notes. One thing that I have to say I really enjoyed was the structure of the questions. I know that's sort of a weird thing to say, but I've done so many quizzes and assessments and different things over the years that by the time I'm done, I just want to like crawl under a blanket and hide. I just feel like I'm a complete loser. I'm not getting anything right. And it feels very like frustrating and disheartening.
Mm,
What was so intriguing, I like the just the language of the questions had me thinking about my presence differently, but also had me realizing that I had some wins that I hadn't even like they
yeah.
hadn't clicked in. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So so for those of you who like have done the quizzes and you're like, oh God, not another one. I don't want to find out that I'm like, you know, 2 seconds away from dying. This is not that kind
No,
of quiz.
no,
It's
not at
fun,
all.
it's easy, it doesn't take forever. And you get to Google yourself. I think that's the very first thing that I did. And I was like, whoa, hey.
Yeah, and what I enjoy why I enjoy putting the quiz together too is, and it's my teaching style as well. Like I am never somebody who's going to look at your business and your brand and go, you did this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. This is horrible. I never do that. First of all, I do always like to look at what you've got and to tell you what you've nailed, what you've done correctly, what stands out, right?
Yeah.
And so we work on in a way of, let's talk about the positive. Let's also address some of the stuff that maybe we could fix, but it doesn't come from a negative space, right?
Mhm.
It never ever comes from that. It's always about also helping you be the best that you can. And so that you can also be seen and heard and then hopefully paid for what you already know, right?
Totally. And I think I'm so glad you said that. I think it's so important. It's very easy when especially if you're in that initial build, once you start clocking in some successes, I suspect, I've seen this in other areas of my life, I suspect that you already know it's going well. But at the beginning,
Mm,
when like it feels like you're like, is anything working? Am I doing anything right? It's nice to know, okay, here's the things that you're doing really well. don't change those. Like, don't go
Right.
mecking around with those things. Let's work on these things because I often find that when I know something already feels good, okay, I can repeat that. I can pull that into other things.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think for like, oh my God, Christine, like marketing for me is it's not my jam. I'm trying so hard to like, okay, I gotta shift some serious beliefs on this because I know it's like the heart and soul of growing a business and building an audience, but oh, it's heavy to me. So it's really good to
Oh,
know what's good. So
yeah. Well, you know what? Also, you need a good experience. And here's the thing too. A lot of times people work and they work with coaches or mentors and they don't have a great experience or they pay a lot of money for service and then they're disappointed. They're like, "Oh, I didn't nothing happened, right?"
yeah.
And I mean that's a huge pet peeve of mine. And my thing is that when I'm talking to somebody, especially like on that initial consultation, I can already see in their personality. Like with you, you're a dream to work on marketing with because you've got a personality. You've got an energy, you have a vibe, and we are all energy. And not to get woo woo on you, but it's really
Get woo
important to
woo.
tap
We
into
love the
that.
woo here.
Yeah. You need to take stock of your energy. What are you putting out there? What's your bat signal? Is your bat signal desperation and you got to get a client today because your mortgage is due and you're stressed and it's like, are you the Titanic and inviting people to jump on board? Or do you have a lovely confidence and a fun style that people would be magnetized to, that they want to be a part of that? They want to
Mhm.
rub up against that great juju that you have, that energy, so that they can have a little bit of that. And so that's what the quiz is really also about is finding out is if we're communicating that energy into the outside world, right?
Right.
So yeah, and the very first question, as you had mentioned, is now I had to adapt that because originally it was if you were to Google your name right now, what would you find? I adapted that question to say if you were to Google or Chat GPT because more and more people every single day, every single minute, right now, they're using Chat GPT to do the searches. Okay. So if
Right.
they're looking for, hey, who's a great money coach? Who's an awesome, confidence building coach? Or who's somebody that I can go to help with my branding and my marketing?
Yeah.
Then you want to show up in those AEO. Like there's SEO, search engine optimization. Well, there's also ask engine optimization. Those
Oh
are the
my
chat
gosh, there's
GPT.
another thing.
Yes. Well, we want to show up in those because
Yeah.
that's where people are going.
Yeah.
So that's a way to just find out and to ask you. And your answer was it's a mix of your website, some social media, and maybe a few guest appearances.
Mhm.
And now those guest appearances would those be like on summits and podcast shows?
So they are all podcast appearances because I haven't done summits as of yet. I'm working my way up to that,
You
Christine.
will be, yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
After
so
this
all of the
conversation.
guests, it's all guest appearances on different podcasts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of being a guest on podcasts because your SEO and your Ask Engine Optimization AEO
Mhm.
goes through the roof because you have this amazing host who's posting, who's putting social media stuff out there. Maybe they've got a blog on their website, but they're saying your name, they're saying your title, and just about every single one of them is going to have a link to your website. So you're showing up in a lot of different places. Not only are you being introduced to an audience you would never, ever have the opportunity to meet in any other way,
Yeah.
but you're also getting in there and all the things that are out on digital in the digital world as well.
I love
So
it.
it's really good that you're doing those podcast appearances. If you were my client, I would really pump that up. I would probably have you doing recordings, guest spots every single day. It's amazing what it does for your appearance, your digital footprint, and because you've had more than one and you've got several, I
Yeah.
would also suggest you create a Spotify playlist. And in that Spotify playlist, it's going to be called Amy Van Nigel. How do
You
you
got
pronounce your
it
last
both. In North America, we say Van Meal.
Van Meal?
Yeah.
Amy Van Meal,
Yeah.
podcast appearances. You call it that playlist that, and then
Oh.
every single show you've been on, you're going to put that episode that you were in, you're going to put that on that playlist. So when people say, have you been on shows before? Or, you can share that playlist and people can have a marathon. I've got like 75 episodes. So if somebody wanted to listen to like 50 hours of me,
Yeah.
please don't. You can go crazy. But if they wanted
Spread
to
it
go
out.
for a marathon or a long distance drive and they wanted to hear all these different interviews, they can just go to my playlist.
Okay, that is brilliant for
Yes.
two reasons. One, like just such I wouldn't even have thought of that for someone listening in to be able to just basically just binge interviews without having to go find them and all the different things. But the other side, from the entrepreneurial side, especially as a solopreneur, to not have to go, here's 14 links of
Yeah.
the last four, like, no, just here's one. Here's the playlist. Everything that I've ever done is on there, from as far back as, whenever we first started. Like, that is, oh my God,
Yes.
that's cool. We could stop the interview right now. You're all very
Okay.
welcome. Have
We're
a great
done.
day.
Mic drop. Mic drop. No, but it keeps them organized for you because we're on if we're on that many shows, we forget,
Yes.
but here's the other thing, Amy. Those episodes, that's content. You can repurpose those episodes because you're speaking and you're giving your wisdom and your guidance to all these different audiences. So you can take those episodes and you can repurpose it. Don't just do a transcript because that's boring as hell to read. But
Yeah.
you could take it with AI. You can turn it into a blog or an article. You can create a course. There's so many things you can do with those episodes. You can also get snippets, for your social media as well,
Yeah.
highlights, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great way to keep things organized, I find.
I love that. Okay, I hope we forgot to tell everybody to take notes, but I hope that everybody is taking notes today because
Don't
we're
if you're
going to
driving,
learn a
don't
lot.
don't take notes. If you're driving, don't
Yeah,
take
don't
notes.
take notes while you're driving. Please, for the love of all things holy, keep your hands on the wheel. Um, okay, so before we dive in, actually, because there's something it's a little outside of what we were thinking of talking about today, but this is how divine timing works in life. I just think
Mhm.
it's really awesome. I was having a conversation yesterday, almost at this exact time of day, with another woman who also does marketing. She's somebody I've known forever. And we got onto the topic of doing podcast guest interviews.
Yes.
And she and you both said something very intriguing that was talking about now how did you both phrase it? So it's the access to audiences, but there was something extra that you layered into there. Um, it's going to come to me. What I want to ask while that other piece comes in, what I am noticing, because I'm certainly reaching out to podcasts that I think I'd be a good fit to help their
Mhm.
audience as well. But I'm as part of that process, I'm seeing a huge amount of people, and certainly my inbox has filled up. As I mentioned to you when we very first chatted, all of a sudden the
Yeah.
last few months, I've just had this huge influx of requests for people to come on as a guest. Do you have recommendations for our audience to say, here's a really great way to
Hmm.
find a good podcast, start reaching out? I've seen all different approaches. When I send an email, I just like straight up write it out. Like it's just me to
Yeah.
you. Hey, Christine, I'm Amy. Here's a little bit about me. If
Right.
it sounds like a vibe, let's get on a call. Um, Suggestions, thoughts, ideas for the team?
Yes. So there's a couple different tips. I'll give you my podcast guesting tips. All right. Um, First of all, before you even pitch yourself to a show, and it is good to have like a short list, let's say, of the shows that you already really resonate with and love, and you dig the host, and you
Mhm.
feel that you'd be. I think that's a great. It's a great way to connect with a show host. But I cannot stress to you the importance of creating a proper media kit. And the media kit is a PDF that you send to that potential podcast host. And it's got a great picture of you that actually shows your character, your personality. Okay, not just an old photograph from, when you were in high school or a selfie. It needs to be a professional, like you spent some money on a photographer,
Right.
okay? It's very important. Then a short bio. Don't tell us what high school you went to. don't tell us, all the stuff. It's got to be a short bio with all the cherry picking, all of the really highlights of your career or your business. And then, some maybe a variety of a couple different photos showing you if you're a public speaker, showing you in front of an audience, right? Or if you're an author, showing the cover of your best-selling book. Then on the back, now this is a PDF you can create in Canva. Okay,
Yep.
so it could be page 2.
Yep.
Suggested topics. I have about 5 or 6 suggested topics that I send to podcast hosts.
Yep.
These are all suggested topics that I want them to talk about because it will lead to me saying what I do best, right?
Yes.
And they're interesting. They're things that people want to know.
Yeah.
Then I have suggested questions. Now, can the host ask of course they can ask any question they want, but I give them a list of questions so I make it easy for them. The easier you make it on a podcast host or producer to have you on the show so they don't have to do a whole bunch of research. You make sure that you've got your website link there, your email, you've even got your social media links as well in that one document. You make it easy for them so it's one step closer because they don't have to do a lot of work. It's all there. Okay?
Yeah.
That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, some people use podcast booking agencies.
Yes.
Some people use software or subscriptions that you can use. There's several that are out there. The one I use, I'll tell you about in a second, because it's magnificent, and I've been using it for well over a year now. But podcast booking agencies, they could charge $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. They're very expensive,
Right.
and they will get you booked on shows, but is it worth being booked on 3 or 4 shows in a month and it's costing you so much money? I don't know. If you got it, great. Okay. And on those, that's usually when a podcast host will get an email from one of their employees saying, hey, I've got a great guest idea. Our client, Amy, is amazing. She's done this. Here's her media kit, right? Here's her press kit. And it's someone acting on your behalf. Okay. I find that I know I can connect with, I can speak, I can communicate best what I do.
Yes.
And how I do it. And also, I don't want an intermediary. I want someone to answer my email right to me. And if they want me on their show, they can go, oh my God, I just saw your media. Yes, let's book it in, right? So I use a program called Podpitch. And Podpitch is very unique. There's over 4 million podcasts out there in the world. And you put in your special ramifications, what kind of shows you would do best on. I'm not going to, I won't be on a fitness podcast, although I have been on one for fitness business owners, but there's certain shows that I'm not, it's not a fit.
Right.
I wouldn't want to even pitch myself. So through its AI, it figures out all of these shows that you're a good match for. It's like a dating app. It's like this one would be great. This one would be great. And you can tell it. You could say, I want to be on these type of shows. These are the keywords that we want to look for. And it delivers, man. You can every day it'll pitch out your emails. It'll send out like 20 different emails to podcast hosts. I create my own pitch email so that I'm expressing what I want to say.
Yep.
Right? It's not a computer saying it's me. And when they respond, if they say yes, let's get you on the show, or if they say sorry, you're not a fit, I get that email right away and I respond right away. And I respond to every single email. So that is a very powerful. Now I'm in Australia and it is about $2.99. It's not cheap, but it's not an agency fee. It's not $10,000 or $15,000. It's about $2.99 a month. And I'm in Australia, so that means it's like $500 a month or something. Right?
The conversion is killer.
Yeah, the US dollar versus it's I think it's 65 cents to the dollar or something like that.
Yep.
But it's so powerful, and I've gotten so many bookings, and my SEO and my AEO has gone through the roof. If you Google my name or you chat GPT my name, you'll see it all there.
Yeah.
And so it's worth it to me. It's a business expense that's worth to me. And
now,
for
quick
you,
question
Amy,
on that.
I'll give you a link that gets you $100 off the first month, and just try it for 30 days.
Okay,
That's
so
what
that
I
was
tell
going to be my
clients.
next question.
Yeah.
Like, is it something
Try
that
it for
needs
30
to have-
days.
Okay.
try it for 30 days and try to get booked on as many shows as you can, and then take stock and go, you know what? That first 30 days, I got on some really great shows. I
Yeah.
want to continue this. And you can continue it for another couple months or an extra month. However, you're not locked into a year or 5 years or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just do it even, just see how it is month to month. I have a client who's 76 years old. She's a Reiki master healer, and we put her on that pod pitch with my link. So she saved $100,
Hmm.
and she in 30 days got booked on like 30 or 40 shows. And she did it for the
Wow.
month. And she said, you know what? She said, I'm good for now, because she's like, I'm booked until, June.
Yeah.
She's got all of these bookings.
Yeah.
So that's an affordable way to just get going. And you want to do these podcast appearances because every time you're going to get better, you're going to get better, and you can develop a strategy. And
Yes.
that strategy is to send the message to those audiences of who you are, who you serve, and how you can help them
Hmm.
have a better life, have a better business, whatever it is that your
Yeah.
specialty
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. This is completely unrelated, but related because I talk a lot about that internal work. Like when we talk about manifesting millions, it's not just calling in all the dollars, which we're all here for. So, very quick, little bit of background. One of my goals for this year is to hit 50 podcast interviews this year.
Easy.
With what you're just telling me, it sounds
Yeah.
easy. This is the part that I think is so freaking cool. So I have been like daily calibrating my energy. I talk about this in a different episode. Of really just like aligning into the vision. And every day, as I get my energy in alignment, I also put in the request, guide my actions, put me into the path of the things and the people that would help. So, in the last 24 hours, I have had a conversation with two women who are killing it in marketing. And we just have had this conversation where you're like, hey, Amy, there's this thing that just would like put you on 40 podcasts, right? This is the kind of thing that happens this is why I talk about so often the power of the words that we say and
Oh,
getting our
yes.
energy into place that you will not hear me say, oh, fuck, I can't get booked on any interviews. You'll never
Yeah.
hear me say that. What you will hear me say is, I really would like to land more. I might even clarify that and go, I'd really love to be on podcasts that have, women hosts that have this kind of audience, da 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 da, whatever. But that language is so imperative, and you are just like
I'll
a
give you one better.
manifestation
I'll
in
give you
place.
one better, Amy. I'll give you one better.
Do it.
Your mantra can be, I am so busy getting booked on these great podcast shows and meeting amazing hosts who I will also end up working with and doing collaborational adventures with.
Yeah.
But I'm so busy doing that, and it's so exciting. In other words, it's already happening, right?
Yes.
It's already happened, or it's already happening. When
Yes.
we do that too, the universe freaking does, whatever it has to do,
Yep.
because it's already happening for her. So we got to make sure that it happens,
Yeah.
right?
I like present. And you're right. Thank you for calling that out. I always think of my cosmic crew like, well, shit, she's moving. We gotta go.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
dressed.
Keep them busy. Keep them on their toes.
I love it. I love it. Okay, amazing. So because we could be here for hours, Christine. I just did something. There you are. Let's go to the quiz. We got a little
Yes,
sidetracked, and it was so helpful. I think everybody's going to really love it.
little
Um,
detour.
a detour, yes. Do you want me to share, like, should I read out where I was at, or how do we want to dive into the quiz results for me?
Well, let's just. Why don't you? Do you want to go over just the questions really quickly? You don't have to answer them, but like just
Yeah.
so the audience understands what some of the questions are.
Yes. I don't have them in front of me. Do you have them?
Oh, then I'll do it, and then I'll do it.
All
Okay.
right.
So the first one was, of course, if you were to Google or Chat GPT your name right now, what would you find? I'll let the audience ponder that.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, how often do you share your knowledge or insights with your followers or potential clients? Okay, so that's on your social media.
Yep.
Okay. Number three, how often are you invited to speak, write, or contribute as an expert in your field? For people who are just starting off, sometimes that question is like, not very much. I'm just starting out, but that's okay. Just
I think
you,
it's yeah, and I also want to just add to that because it's something I know I find is that I'll tend to dismiss the things that I've done. But
yes,
thinking about this way, if you've been asked to lead a project at work on something that you're working on, if you've been brought onto podcasts, even if you were the one who reached out, but you still get invited on, that's an invitation. Those are all
yes,
markers of things of being invited in.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Number four, how clearly do you communicate your expertise to potential clients or collaborators?
Mm.
Number five, how often do you receive unsolicited praise or recognition for your expertise? This is a tough one for people because they go, oh, I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't. But
Yeah.
if you really kind of nut down on that, you'll go, oh my gosh, that's right. I do have these people in my life who say amazing things about, or, maybe it was a client that you worked with years ago, right?
Yep.
Um, number six, how effectively do you monetize your expertise through products, services, or speaking engagements?
Hmm.
Okay. How do you monetize that expertise? Number seven, how easily do people trust you as an authority in your field?
I will say
Number
on
eight,
this one
oh,
before
yeah.
people, because if they're like, oh God, I don't know, the answers that because it's you select from a list of answers, the
Yes.
answers help clarify. So if for those of you who are listening, you're like, oh shit, I have no idea. There are very clear answers, and this is what I really loved about the quiz that go, oh, okay, I would fit in here, I think.
Yes. There's four. Usually it's a like a multiple choice thing you could
Yeah.
pick. Number eight, how often do you put yourself forward as an expert or thought leader in your field?
Hmm.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That's raising your hand. That's going to your local business chamber and saying, hey, I'd love to speak to the local business chamber, all the businesses in my town or my city about XYZ,
Hmm.
right? It's tax time. I would love to, if you're an accountant, I would love to talk to them about ways that they can save on their tax. I don't,
Yeah.
whatever your expertise is.
Yeah.
Okay. This is important. Number nine, have you ever worked with a coach or mentor to help grow your authority and influence? This is important. It
Very
doesn't have
excellent
to be a
question.
coach. It doesn't have to be a business coach, but it could be like a mentor. I have coaches. I've
Mhm.
had coaches as well. And I'm so grateful because I don't know everything. I, I know a lot about certain things, but I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I have a LinkedIn coach because LinkedIn was a mystery to me for a very long time.
Yeah.
Now I love it. Number 10, if you had the right guidance and strategy, how confident are you that you could elevate your expert authority to the next level? And I love your answer, Amy, because you're like, very confident. I just need the right strategy and support to make it happen. So you're already in that positive mindset of, I got this, but I do need somebody to tell me, you know, it's like those wild rides. I think in Disney they had Mr. Toad's Wild Ride or something, and you want somebody to say, "Oh, but don't go down this street because it's a dead end,
Yeah.
and you're going to spend too much time and energy. We don't need to do that. Go this way because that's the way to the pot of gold.
Yeah.
And along the way, we're going to learn this skill and that skill, and we're going to learn how to communicate our message and how to make our brand really pop, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what you want is you want somebody to help guide you and say, "Oh, don't go that way because that's there's a big ditch. There's a
Right.
big hole. You're going to fall in the hole."
Yeah. That's the pathway that has the lesson, not the success that we're after. You'll learn something, but it's not the fun way. It's not the way you were hoping to get there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't need to do that.
Yeah. Let's make things easier. Please. We're in the business of making things easier for people. I do want to just add on to that. Um, so I tend to always filter back to what was my experience at different points in my life. So I my answer is it's reflective of where I am at this stage in my life. I know I've been at this for like almost 2.5 years of trying, how the hell do I talk about what I do? What is it that I want to talk about? What is the stuff that like I know that I can confidently speak to? And it's been a lot of just moving through muddy waters to figure it out. So if I had answered that same question when I very first started, I'd be like, I don't know, whatever like the second lowest one maybe is. Like I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Right.
But so I do think there's a little sweet spot where, and for those of you listening, I want to be very clear. This is not in any way to say, don't bring anybody on until you feel more confident, because the two go together very nicely. But
Yeah.
there is a reason why I feel like if you just point me in the right direction and just tell me what to do, and you were like, Amy, I guarantee this is going to work, I'd be like, I'm all in, man. Like, let's go. So yeah, I
Well,
think that's calling out.
because you're ready, and here's the other thing. You have a can-do attitude, you have a positive attitude. I've had people that have come to me in the free consultation that I do, and they're all negative. And
Yeah.
every single thing, it's all about, oh, that market's saturated. There's all these podcast hosts already, or everything coming out of their mouth
Mm.
is negative. The glass is half full, right, or half empty.
Half empty. Yep.
Half
Yep.
empty. And
It
those
all
kind
needs
of
more
people,
tequila.
I can't change. I
Yes.
can't change.
Yep.
And I won't work with those type of folks, because their viewpoint and skew of the world is that they are a victim, and everything is bad and negative. And so I can't, I bless them, but I can't work with those kind of folks,
Yep.
because it will show up in your brand. It'll
Yeah.
show up in your social media. It'll show up because it's your energy. It's an energy point. So
Mhm.
if you're someone who's at least already in that positive mode, or what's possible, then the sky's the limit. There's
Mhm.
so much that you can accomplish. You have a best-selling book in you. You have a great podcast with you. You have the potential to have so much, to create so much content, right?
Yeah.
But it's because you believe that that's possible for you,
Right.
if that makes sense.
A lot of belief work, baby. A lot of belief work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the questions. And
Yes.
shall I share now where I landed
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the scale has, I believe it's four categories. One, two, three, four. Yes. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it this way, but I'm going to say it this way. I was like the lower end of the scale. So I'm not the lowest. I'm the second lowest, or the
Yes.
third highest. Maybe we'll say I'm the third
There you
highest.
go.
There we go. So
That's a great way.
here's where I landed. So the title is Budding Authority, or Building Expertise. And this is a description for those of you who would feel that you're in a similar space. So you're at an exciting stage of growth. Your expertise is starting to get noticed, and you've gained some traction in your niche. The best news, you have the foundation to build something powerful. You're on the right track, but there's so much untapped potential waiting to be unlocked. I had goosebumps reading that sentence. I was like, oh my God,
Oh,
yes.
that's so good.
And then it goes, why waste time guessing what works? Amen, sister, because Jesus, I hate like just, is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? And then there's a link to book the strategy session, which I think is amazing. But
Yeah.
that category is, and like nicely done. It really feels very aligned with where I'm at in the business, and where I'm at in well, just the whole, yeah, well, the business. That's the end of that sentence, period.
Well, you are. You're at an exciting point. The good thing is that you're also not at the point where you've been doing it for a long time, and you're burnt out and you're jaded and you're like nothing works, or you've dealt with people who are not very scrupulous,
Yeah.
let's say, right?
Yep.
So I can't tell you like that. I've had so many people that have come to me and they said, I spent all this money on somebody, and in 2 sessions with you, I learned so much more and I've gained so much more. And that makes me sad that there's even, people have to experience that.
Yeah.
But it also makes me very glad when people do find me early on,
Yeah.
right? Before they become too jaded and they hate every single coach that they
Yeah.
come across.
Yeah.
So you're in an exciting place, and looking at that. So if you were my client, looking at the questions, or the answers to your questions, those areas where maybe you weren't at the very top, like on how clearly do you communicate your expertise to potential clients or collaborators. The answer was, I struggle to communicate my expertise clearly. It's hard to explain what I do and why I'm different. Well, girl, that's my specialty, is to nail that down with you, so
Mhm.
you're crystal clear. So because clarity is what is going to make that needle move
Yeah.
for you. We've got to be super clear. This is who I am. You plant your flag on it. This is who I am. This is what I do.
Yeah.
This is who I help. And this is how I help people get from point A to point B,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I help overwhelmed entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, speakers. I help them get seen, trusted, and paid for what they already know.
Right.
So there's no learning curve thing or anything like that. They've got it all within them. You've got the magic already within you.
Right. I love
We
that.
just need to bring it out.
I got it right. There was something that came through that I just had to make a note for myself. Amy, look at this
That's
later.
good. Good.
Okay, I have a question on that. So, Marie Forleo dubs it a multi-passionate entrepreneur. So a person who has multiple passions
Hmm.
and like anyway, so here's where I find that when someone asks me, Amy, what do you do? First of all, for the for
I
those
know
of
what
us who've ever been in like the online space, it's so normal to me that you would do something in the online space. But literally nobody in the entire group of my friends and family have ever done an online course or they all think I'm a magician. They're like, how did you come up with this idea? And I'm like, I'm just following some other people. It's pretty cool. So trying to explain that, and this is how it often comes, because I'm trying to communicate this to someone who doesn't necessarily understand like the context of online education or services like I provide. So I'd say, well, I teach women about money, and then which is kind of right, but like kind of not. And then because I also do coaching, but the coaching is in a different arm. So how would a person with a structure like myself that has one thing in one arm of their business that's very clear, money, all the things around money, and then
Yep.
coaching, which is high performing women, leading teams, creating big impact, like those things feel like slightly different things.
Yeah. Yes. So when I encounter and there's a lot of people that I encounter who are multi-talented.
Hmm.
I'm multi-talented. You're multi-talented,
Yeah.
right? So here's the thing though. If I were to go around in my marketing and saying I can help you create a branded podcast for your business that is going to get you seen, heard. You can promote your business. You can. It's going to be amazing. Your very own podcast. Yes, I can do that, and I do that for clients. Okay, but if I also said I can also take your website and make it like, stand out, work on your branding. I can also help you create a best-selling book, which I do. I help people do that, right? Best-selling, especially in nonfiction. Okay, fiction, somebody else. I can help you create viral TikToks and how to create those short-form viral videos. I can also help you be a great podcast guest and get you booked on shows. Now, I can do all of those things, and I do all of those things. But if I was putting that out there, people would go, what the fuck does she do? I
Yeah.
don't understand. There's no clarity. I've had people, I say, what is it that you do? They'll say, oh, what is it that I not do? I do everything. I do
Yeah.
everything for everybody. I
Right.
do this, I do that, and I'm like, confusion is the first way that people are going to drop off and go, I don't know what she does, and I don't have time to figure it out.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to welcome people into our home, our business, our brand, right?
Mhm.
We want to welcome them in with a very clear, concise direction.
Mm.
So even though with mine, the expert authority coach, you kind of get a vibe for what I do, but it has to do with expert authority. And authority, by the way, is the new hot. It's the new black. I mean, everybody's
Yes, it
into it.
is. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So people are understanding that. But once I bring them into my home and they're in my space, my domain,
Yeah.
then based on them and their skill set and what I see is an easy way,
Yeah.
then I can drop Oh, by the way, did you know that I can help you create a podcast? By the way, did you know that I can help you get booked on podcast shows because you need to be on podcasts?
Mm.
Maybe their personality is not one to be a host because they can't handle that. It's a lot of work to have
Yeah.
your own podcast. You
Yep.
know, right? But some people, their personality is perfect for it.
Hmm.
Other people, they freeze when they have to be on camera or if they're recorded. Oh my God, they can't talk. But they're brilliant writers.
Yeah.
So we'll work on their newsletters, on their blogs, and their books,
Yeah.
right? The main thing is that you want to stay in your zone of genius. You want to do your genius things, and we want to bring people in through your home, in through that doorway that is clear and concise. So for you, I would sit down and work with you and come up with a title, something that you can hang your hat on and
Yeah.
go, that's what I am. And then welcome people in and say, by the way, I can help you with this. I can help you with that. Do you see? Do you
Yeah.
see the difference?
Yeah. Okay. I love that. So I'm going to share this little thing because this was coming through as we were having the conversation. I'm like, so I do this, but I kind of do this. And these are the little notes that I've kind of made.
Yes.
Let me run this by you because I'm very curious what you think, just as sort of a brainstorming. And I think it'd be interesting for people to hear how we could potentially turn it in. So, at the heart of the work that I do, in all of the work that I do, is really focusing on confidence and clarity and progress.
Okay.
So, if instead of going like, well, I teach women about money and then I also like coach people and it kind of looks like this, would it, and the big question for me is, does it sound in integrity with the work to say, I help women create confidence, clarity, and progress in their money and their career?
That would be your mantra.
Okay.
Your mantra. Okay.
Yeah.
So with myself, my name is Christine Blosdale. Okay. You've
Yeah.
got your name.
Yeah.
And my title, okay,
Yeah.
my professional title is the expert authority coach, which,
Right.
by the way, I got trademarked and the registration just came in. So it's got a little R now instead of the TM.
Woo.
Very clever idea to do if you have a unique title, which, Amy, if I was working with you, I would say, let's create a unique title for you and trademark that puppy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
It tells people immediately that you're professional. Wow, she trademarked it. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
She's
Damn. She's got
serious.
something going on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Because then you could turn it into I'm with the expert authority coach. I've got a podcast based off that name. I've got a book that's coming out, the expert authority code that I've done and
Yeah.
it's in the editing phase. I can do the expert authority code course, the expert authority code workbook. I can do the authority code certification, right? All
Yeah.
these different things. So we want to come up with that title. And I don't know yet what that title would be for you. But your mantra, my mantra is I help overwhelmed entrepreneurs get seen, get trusted, and get paid for what they already know. I could say that in my sleep. I could be
Right.
sound asleep and you go, say your mantra. And I go, I help overwhelmed. So your mantra
Yeah.
is what you just said.
Right. Okay. So the call it the elevator pitch, the short
Yeah.
introduction, the okay. Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so then so keeping that in mind, like does what I shared like align with the work that I do?
Yes. Say it to me again. So I say, hey, hi, Amy. So tell me, you don't have to tell me your title. You don't have to tell me, what is it that you do for a living? What do you do?
So I work with women to create confidence, clarity, and progress in their
I
money and
help,
their career.
I help women.
I
I
help
don't
women.
work with, you're not working with them, right? I guide, I help,
Oh yeah. Okay.
I rescue,
Yeah, rescue. I'm the SOS bat signal.
right?
Okay.
You're not
That's so
working
funny.
with them. Yes, you
Yeah.
are working with them, but when you say I work with, I'm imagining an office and there's a team and there's people around the water cooler.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So, because I think the first time I said it, I help, and then I pulled it just now. Okay. So I help women create confidence, clarity, and progress in their money and their career.
Cool.
Okay. I'm going to be practicing this in my sleep. What I want to really communicate. So,
And question, instead of
yeah.
money, what if we said, what if we said not, and I don't want to say abundance because then it's like, oh, metaphysical woo woo unicorn, but you got a unicorn behind you,
I've
so
got
that's
100
okay.
unicorns in here.
Yeah. Um, but what if it was financial abundance or financial, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
money, what if we used the word wealth?
So that, oh my
Mm,
God, were you
wealth
poking
is
around my website?
yummy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wealth
no.
is yummy.
Wealth is yummy because wealth means different things to different people. But
Yes, it
wealth
does.
is not just money in the bank, but wealth is having the health to enjoy your holiday, having the wealth of time to spend with loved ones,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
The wealth is how many people love you. That's wealth as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Were you listening to the episode like 4 episodes ago? Because I
No,
think
no, no, I wasn't.
yes, yes. So, only because so I just did the open enrollment for Wealthy as Fuck Live, and that is the whole we
And
talk
that's
about
a
money,
great
we
title.
start talking about money, but my goal for everyone is not just more money, yes, and all of the things that you mentioned. A wealthy as fuck life that
Yes.
feels so friggin' good that you're just like, oh my God, how is this my life right now?
And that's a great title. If you were to ask me to give you a grade on that title, that's an A plus plus.
Love. Okay,
Yeah.
yay. So
Yeah.
here's what I want to communicate because
Mhm.
um, it's again putting myself in the place of having listened to conversations like this. I know that I can find listening to a conversation going, but how do I apply that to the work that I'm doing? What I'm intending that all of you listening are hearing is that just through adjusting how we speak about our work, understanding so and this is what tuned it in for me, Christine, because when you were saying about all the different things that you do, you said, I help you, and I'm going to remember this, be seen, trusted, and paid.
I help overwhelmed. And I say entrepreneurs, but if I'm speaking to a group of women in business, like 500 people in an audience,
Yeah.
I say I help women in business. I help overwhelmed women in business. If I'm speaking to a group of authors, I help overwhelmed authors. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
most of the time I'll say because business owners sound so boring. But I'll say entrepreneurs for the
Yeah.
most part. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I feel like in the last 15 years, the language has changed. It used to all be business owners, and now we're all entrepreneurs, and I'm here for
Yes.
it. So, okay. But what I want to highlight is, so you attach um, a state of experience in
Yes.
front of the audience that you work with. So like
Yes.
they're not coasting along. They're like, "Oh my God, there's so much happening right now.
They're
We are
overwhelmed.
overwhelmed, we're
Yeah.
frustrated, whatever that is."
Yeah.
And this is what resonated with me. Like, and it's through everything that you say. Be seen, trusted, and paid.
Yes.
And what I think is so important, and this is as we were talking, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, I help with money, but I also do this. What is actually the heart of what it is that I do? Well, the heart is clarity, confidence, progress.
Hmm.
And I think that this, for all of you who are building businesses or are dreaming of businesses, it's there's this like funny thing when you, oh my God, everybody who has a job, I feel like sometimes I'm jealous. I'm like, do you know how much easier it is to just have a job sometimes
I know.
and do business? But one of the challenges is to take a small step out of the day-to-day things that you do, put down the task list of like, what is it exactly how I help people? And come back and go, what is the experience that they leave with?
Yes.
Because that actually becomes then how we can describe our work. So when you talk, and this is like I'm going to be saying your mantra in my sleep now, Christine. All I can see now in my head is seen, trusted, paid. That is
Yes.
now linked in my brain with like, well, Christine helps me do these things. And those things, I don't need to know the 400 million ways that you do it. I just know that's the end result. That's what we're going for.
Correct.
And that feels really good. So
Right.
that's where it's like, take my hand, tell me what to do. So I just want to encourage all of you that hopefully through the conversation, you've had your own insights and maybe made some notes of things that are popping and saying, oh, wait a minute. So, like, if you're a health and fitness person, for example, um, you could say, well, I help you structure meal plans, which that doesn't sound very exciting. I give you a workout routine, which is like great fun. Like, what if it's like, I help you feel like your butt looks amazing when you're out on the path, right? Like that
Right.
to me would be like,
Right.
all right, show me how. I'm okay with this. Like that's the
Yeah.
part that I think is really helpful. Okay, anything that you want to add to that before I make a small
No,
point?
I think it's really important in that mantra, or you call it, some people call it a mission statement or an elevator pitch or things like that. Um, you want it to be also unique enough that you can, first of all, you can remember it, like you could say it in your sleep, right? But also that you can repurpose that and use it throughout your branding. So on my website, that statement is repeated. When I'm a guest on a podcast show, that statement is repeated. The subtitle of my book of the Expert Authority Code, that it's not published yet, so don't look for it yet. But the subtitle is how to get seen, trusted, and paid for what you already know.
Mm,
You see?
yeah,
So we're almost making it kind of like that Nike just do it, although it's a little bit longer than just do it. But
yeah,
we're equating that statement and that feeling with the work that I do, and it's associating it back to me. Um, the problem most people have is that they are overwhelmed. They
yeah.
don't know what to do. They're told all these different things, and so
Yes.
what happens is we become a deer in headlights and we don't do shit. We don't do anything because we're like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna stay stuck, or I'm just gonna keep doing the things that I've been doing, even though they're not working,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm confused. So we want to take that confusion away
Yeah.
and we want to help people get seen. So that means all the different ways that we can be seen on our social media. Go to your local, like I said, your business chamber, do speaking engagements, be a guest on podcasts, be seen, be seen. You have to be seen. People don't know you exist unless you get out there. Okay.
Yeah.
And trusted is really important because in today's world, we are craving someone that we can bloody well trust.
Mm,
We see liars all the time. We see con artists all the time. We're like, we see a review from somebody. We go, oh, they could have wrote that themselves, right? If you have a video testimonial, that's way better because it's an actual person, a human being that's saying, oh, Amy's the most amazing thing in the world. But we want to be trusted.
mhm.
If someone trusts you, they'll be willing to pay you.
Right.
But you can't get paid unless you're seen and you're trusted.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Four.
trust you, Amy.
Thank you. Ditto. When this ends, I have to keep reminding myself that we're recording an interview and I can't just be
Oh
like,
yeah,
okay,
that's
I've got
right.
on questions. Um, let's do three levels of this and we'll do this like super quick. So
Okay.
person just starting out in call it the first like hasn't launched yet to the first, I don't know, 2 years. They're they're anywhere from they have a great idea but no friggin' clue how to make money to they're formatting the idea and they're starting to put content out there.
Hmm.
Suggestions for and we'll keep this super simple, but like what would you recommend if there was one or two small things for them to focus on? What would be the suggestion at the starting point? And I'm going to guess it's not going to be your logo and your brand colors.
No,
No.
it does have to do with your branding, but it's not about the color or the font or the logo. But we go back to that media kit that will help you get booked on podcasts, right? The one of the very first things I do with all of my clients is I say, we're going to create your media kit. And they're like, but I don't want to get booked on podcasts. Or I say, it's not about that. It is, we're forcing us to consolidate and create a bio that is so powerful that if it's a potential client or a podcast host or a television station, that if they read that bio, they're going to go, you're interesting. I want to learn more about you.
Yeah.
Right. And we're also going to have it look good,
Hmm.
okay? And if you want to start with your colors and all that stuff, you can. But we're going to take that, and that is always going to be in front of you. I have mine. I've been doing this for a very long time. My media kit is always right next to my computer screen, so that I can look at that. And when I look at that, I can see. I go, "Damn, I've accomplished a lot." Okay, that helps in my confidence.
Hmm.
When that's not there, yes, I can rely on all of my expertise and experience,
Yeah.
but this is just a gentle reminder, and it forces you to think of yourself as a brand. You are a human being. You're not McDonald's. You're
Yeah.
going to evolve, so your branding is going to evolve as well. You're not stuck in just this one thing, but it gives you a starting point.
Yep.
Okay? That's the most important thing. The other thing is we are going to take a look at your website. If you don't have one yet, that's okay. We can even create a landing page for you, but you need somewhere that you can send people to book time with you, to talk to you,
Yeah.
to find out what it is that you could do that might help them. You have to have some sort of homing beacon, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll do that. We'll make sure that you at least have that and it's clear. The other thing is we will take a look at how do you get paid? How do you get paid?
Yeah.
Do you have services or products? Do you have a program? If you're a coach, how much are you? And a lot of times people go, I don't want to put how much and everybody works differently. Some people don't put their pricing on their website.
Yep.
I do. I do
Me too.
because I want people to know. I want people to know.
Hmm.
And I have a lot of different ways to work with me. I have a group mastermind for women in business that's extremely affordable. It's so inexpensive, but it's because I want more. I want those women to have access to me. It's
Yeah.
just not a private one-on-one.
Yeah.
Then I have a private one-on-one session that's available, and that's at a certain rate.
Hmm.
And then I have my accelerator program, which is at a certain rate as well, right?
Right.
But I put that out there so there's no surprise. They actually know right from the get-go how much I charge, the fees that I charge,
Yeah.
and then that way they can know if they're able to work with me. I don't want anybody to be stressed out
Yeah.
financially.
Yeah. And I want to
That's not.
say, I don't know if I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, but I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to be coming on your podcast in the next little while, and
Yes,
we're actually going to be talking about this. So oh my gosh, for
yes,
those of you, I will talk about money until the end of time, I'm sure. I am so passionate about being clear about money from the get-go. There is no faster way to lose someone's trust than to get them all excited about something and then give them a price that they could have told you before you ever sat down that they can't afford.
yep,
And like not excuse of like, oh, I can't afford it as an objection to overcome. Like straight up, I don't have, 10,000, 20,000, whatever,
yeah,
$800, like whatever it is, because you don't know what everybody's pathway and financial resources that is available to them are. So I'm a big believer, like,
yes,
and I will say this, especially for the business owners, which is all of you who we're talking to today specifically, is everything that I've been taught by all the business experts that have come up until, well, today probably, I guess, is you don't want to put your pricing out there.
I
Don't tell
know,
them the price. Like
I know.
you want
Everybody,
to
they
win them
always,
over. And I'm like,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I put it out there.
yeah, thank you.
I
Yeah.
I also want them to see that when they go with the particular program, like if you're just booking a single 2-hour session with me, it's a few ducats, right? It's substantial. But if you do the 90-day program with me, and we're working every single week, right? And it's high, like 4 sessions a month, so it's 12 sessions altogether. But when you break it down for the monthly fee,
Mm.
it's way cheaper.
Yeah.
But I do that because I want people to do the 90 days with me. If I just do a one-off session with you, yes, we can get a lot done,
Yeah.
but we don't have that huge arc, that transformation
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
That 3 months happens. In those 90 days, we can do so much.
Yeah.
But in a 2-hour session, you know,
Mhm.
It's like if you go to the dentist, and you need a lot of work done on your teeth, and you're like, just give me a clean, doc, right? And
Yeah.
you're like, he's like, okay, I'll just clean them, but that tooth is gonna fall out.
Yeah, we need to do something more. Now, I will say this. I think because we have been saying so clearly, like, tell people what your pricing is. And yet we have not talked about pricing here in this conversation. What I want to say, I don't know if this is your approach, Christine, but this is mine. The reason, unless I know that something that I'm talking about is a fixed price and it's always going to be that price for as long as I can reasonably foresee it, I don't. Um, Speak to pricing in a context of something like this
Because
because
it might
if
change.
somebody comes to this conversation exactly in 6 months, 2 years, whatever,
Yes,
I don't
yes,
want them to go, oh, well, but on that podcast, you said it was like $500 to work with you, but now it's like $5,000. Like, so
right,
there is pricing clarity is very important, but pricing clarity, I think, is like your website is clear. I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I do this when I'm promoting a program, when I'm putting something out there, straight up on all the social media posts, it's, X number of dollars.
yep,
Um, so that, and I understand there are people who are going to self-select and go, can't afford it, don't see the value. Cool.
right,
But hopefully you'll go, oh, you know what? That would be really awesome. I'd actually really love to do that. Now I know how much that is. I can work my way
yes.
towards that. And I think that's really helpful. So, okay, so we had our beginner group. So now let's move to someone who's got let's say, 5 figures a month income, business is doing
Mhm.
okay. They've got some things figured out. They would really like to be uh let's say a $250,000 a year
Mhm.
entrepreneur. Insights, tips for that group of people.
Quite often for those clients, I find it's they're needing or really desiring a rebrand.
Okay.
And the rebrand is basically, it's kind of like when you have a home decorate, somebody that comes into your house and goes, oh, these colors are all wrong, and the couch could be moved over here, and this and that and the other. um that's in some respect what I can do for those people, do a rebrand, but really take a look at their messaging. A lot of times they're just not really clear. That clarity is missing in
Hmm.
their messaging and their branding. But also I try and find out what lights them up. What makes them super excited? What are they so passionate about?
Mm.
Some people love doing public speaking. They want to be professional keynote speakers, right? Other people, the thought of being talking in front of a group of people makes them want to vomit. They're like, nope, nope, nope. I want to have my mad genius behind the screen. I don't want to be center stage.
Yeah.
Okay, so it just depends on the person, but a lot of times that would be someone who's looking to do a rebrand. And um, oftentimes they've got uh, service, the things that they're offering, there's no clarity in it, or there's too many things. They offer too many things. And so
Mm.
we pare it down a little bit.
Okay. So a little bit of refresh, a little bit of pruning to really like
Yeah.
bring things concise and light the
Yeah.
fires again.
And still creating that media kit for them. It's really important.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
so important. Yeah.
I love it. I'm so glad you said that because it's a thought that I've thought 4 times already in our conversation. When when I first heard you need a media kit, I was like hyperventilating. I'm like, oh my God, like I don't know what a media kit is. It's actually relatively simple. You walked us through the pieces that are in the media kit.
Yeah.
You can play on Canva if you want to make it look pretty, as you said, but like it's it's just this is who I am, this is what I do. Here's some topics we can talk about. Here's some places I've been before. So it's kind of like what helped me get over the hurdle of putting it together was going, well, what are the things that they need to know about me anyway in order for them to like have me join them?
Yes.
That's
It
it. That's all
yes.
it is.
And it's I'll tell you what it is not. It is not a resume.
No.
So
Yeah.
don't put
Barista,
I
second
graduated with
cup,
a
2004.
3.5 grade average, and I went and I married my spouse, and no, 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 no. We don't
Yeah.
need to know that. It's what are the facts, ma'am? What's the most important stuff? And
Yes.
for the longest time, my media kit, when I first did my media kit, I forgot that I had worked for America Online and Microsoft MSN. It was called MSN back then.
Yeah.
I forgot that I had worked for them because it'd been many, many, many years ago. But one time I was just like looking, and I was thinking about what can I highlight? What kind of, and I thought about it. I went, oh my God, one of the largest brands in the world at the time too, especially AOL, America Online was huge because there was no Facebook or YouTube or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so I went, oh my God, that's right. I worked for them for 2 years, and it was exciting. I got to go to all the premieres and interview all the celebrities and movie stars and all that great stuff. But it was also a very hard job. I worked my ass off.
Yeah.
I worked really hard for that. And so I was like, you know what? I should put that on my media kit because it's a recognizable brand.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I have a client. He's amazing. I love him. Love him, love him, love him. And he's transitioning from an events kind of coordinator guy to doing his own coaching business. And so we were doing his media kit, and I'm saying, so what are some of the companies that you've done these events for? And he was, rambling off the different things. And I said, okay, we've got these things, and we're using the logos from these very recognizable brands. That's the other thing. Put those logos on your media kit too.
Yeah.
Because to see them is a different thing.
Yeah.
But then I said, oh, what else? Anything that you've done in partnership with big companies? And he goes, oh, I did do this one time. I did this gig for Disney. And I said, what did you do for Disney? And he told me what he did. And I said, oh my God. I said, that's one of the most recognizable brands. Can we please put the Disney Magic Kingdom logo thing on your...
Yeah.
I said, did you work hard for that? He goes, oh God, I did. I said, that's important. So think about those things.
Yeah.
Those brand name, those things that if people saw the logo or they read it on your media kit, they'd go, oh, I know that brand, or I know that company, or I know that business. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, listen, Disney, Nike, they spend billions on brand recognition.
Yeah.
And like, let's
buy it on the
leverage
back
that.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leverage it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. I want to do it. Okay. I didn't tell you I was going to do this because I only had this idea 30 seconds ago.
Okay.
I'm going to leave a little teaser here. We're going to still record this next little bit, but we're going to pop it onto our social medias. It's not going to be on the podcast.
Oh, tricky. Okay.
Sneaky.
Intriguing.
I've never had this idea. I'm very excited to see how this lands. Okay. So I have the thing up on the screen. I'm going to ask you about it. I'm very excited. So for those of you, once you finish listening to this podcast episode, you've gone and done your quiz, you've booked your free time to chat with Christine, then come check out our socials, because I'll drop this sweet little nugget for you afterwards. Before we go, because we could talk forever.
I know, girl, we could talk forever.
Oh my God. We're besties, everybody. I'm just saying.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Any final thoughts that you want to leave our listeners with before you and I go off and do our own secret thing and then share?
Yes. It? Okay. So this is another good tip. So come over here. Listen. Okay. So in addition to your unique title, in addition to your mantra, right? Your special mantra that you can say in your sleep, you want to also you can have these little other sub mantras, right? These things that you say that people can remember. And I have at the very bottom of every page on my website, it says this. It says, remember this. If you're not seen or heard, you're not paid. So do you see? It's kind of the same vein of my mantra, but it's a real simple thing. If you're not seen or heard, you're not paid, honey. Yep. You've got to be seen and you've got to be heard. You got to get out there.
Yeah. Nobody can see it, but I have goosebumps all over my arms.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Okay. I love that. All right, Christine.
You're exhausted.
I don't want to go, although my body's like, it's coming on dinner time. We need to eat something. I know that it's... Oh, by the way, how does the future look? I always love asking my peeps in Australia.
Oh, in Australia, yes. We're still here. The planet is still here at the moment.
Yay! We're calling that a win. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. So Christine, we're going to link all the things into the show notes for you, including all of your social media handles so people can connect with you.
Oh, fantastic.
Highly, highly, I cannot recommend this enough. Go check out even if you're just curious, like just kind of like, what is this about? Check out the quiz, try it out. You might be intrigued to find that like some questions you can answer really well. And even just in the act of answering the questions, it'll get you thinking about some things. Like I'd never thought
Yeah.
about chat GPTing myself. I'll go do that afterwards.
Do that.
I gotta
Yes,
say, that
immediately
sounds
afterwards.
dirty to me. It sounds
Chat
like
GPTing yourself.
my husband's really,
Yes,
what are
you
you
need
doing?
to do that.
I'm chat GPTing myself. And he'll be like, do you want the door closed? Like, is this a private
Should I
event?
join you?
Yeah. What kind of a Friday night are we going to cook up here? But yeah, I think it's so helpful. And then you have all over the website and on like the quiz near the end as well. And then in the results that people can book that free call with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. You're a friggin' delight.
It's extremely important. It's very valuable, and they'll get a recording of that free conversation that we have, so that they
Oh
can
my,
go back and they can refer to it. They get, yeah, of course, of course.
love. Okay, that is enormous. So for someone who's been knocking around on businesses for more years than I'm old enough to have been doing, that is not common. I think that's really awesome. I also super love, I'm going to just love on you a little bit. I super love your vibe. I really love how you make marketing feel like not this terrifying giant thing that if you aren't doing these 400 things perfectly, you're going to like fail.
Die.
Yeah.
Try to die.
Oh my God.
No,
So this is how, again, like I said, I have so much belief work in myself to do around the topic of marketing and selling, and like I'm working on it.
we got you. We
But
got
part
you.
of that
You're
based on
you're
like
there.
some past experiences of like working with people that have just, so if you've had the icky experiences, if you've had the wasted money, or you're like, man, I just haven't gotten anywhere, I feel like I can say almost unequivocally, I think that you're completely different, and I think it's amazing. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
please,
Dawn.
everybody go book with Christine because it's awesome.
You're-
Christine, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you, Amy. It's been my pleasure. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to have you on my show.
I know. I'm super excited. So I'll be on all the socials because if you want to hear my conversation with Christine where she turns the heat on me, it's going to be juicy, and we'll talk all about it on the socials. All right, Christine, we are done for the podcast episode. As I mentioned, we're going to do a super secret little recording. So for those of you who are listening, thank you so much for joining us today. Do all the things, please and thank you. Like, subscribe, do the follow, leave the ratings. Make sure that you share this episode out. Okay, I don't often recommend that you're like, just send this to all your friends. But if you have friends, family, whatever, enemies in your network that are wanting to build a business, that are endeavoring to grow a business, please send them this episode, because I think there is so much that we covered in today that turns a lot of the icky, gross feeling vibes of the inner workings of building a business on their head. And I think that my hope and intention is that our conversation is going to really help shift some emotions and beliefs around what that could look like. So I give you full permission and encouragement to just spam the hell out of everybody with this episode.
Absolutely. Share it. Don't be stingy.
Yeah.
Don't be stingy with this information. Share it. Well, and here's the thing too. If you book a consultation with me, if you book a free consult, tell me in that chat that we have that you heard me on Amy's show, or you saw me, you found out about it from Amy's show. That's really important, because then I can also give her the feedback and tell her that her audience not only are action takers, but they're quite smart. They're very intelligent.
Already, but yeah. Love. All right, my loves, I will see you next week on the Manifesting Millions podcast. Thank you so much, and bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform, and help me reach more like-minded people who are ready to expand their life. If you haven't yet followed me on social media, find me on Instagram for extra love and inspiration by following at Amy Van Meel or visit my website at amyvanmeel.com. I love you so much, babe, and I am damn proud of you. I am already excited to connect in the next episode. And in the meantime, believe in yourself with the confidence of a 5-year-old.